Hey, good evening, everybody, and welcome to the EP Fan Zone podcast, the podcast that is by, for, and about Elvis fans. This is episode 2. My name's Kevin Booth, and I'm here with
Abby.
that's my daughter, Abby. She's joining again tonight, and we're going to have a great time because guess what tonight is? What is tonight, Abby?
The 53rd anniversary of Aloha from Hawaii.
That's right, January 14th, 1973. The most historic television concert of all time. It still stands up today. Seen by how many people, Abby?
1.5 billion people.
1.5 billion people around the world saw this concert. That is more people than watched the first man walk on the moon. So absolutely incredible, and it still stands the test of time. So we figured what better way to do the second podcast episode on this historic night. We've got to talk about the Aloha from Hawaii concert. So I remember when I first saw the concert, and we got to talk about this real quick. It was not seen in the United States that night because of the Super Bowl. It came up against the Super Bowl, and they didn't want to take anything away from Elvis in the United States. So it was seen in April of 1973 in the United States. So folks in the United States had to wait till April to see this show. So
Just about 30 countries saw it today.
yes, 1.5 billion people. He came on stage at midnight. So this midnight Hawaii time. So this show definitely would have been over at the time that we're talking about this concert right now. And 1.5 billion people saw it. It was at the Honolulu International Center. And he was wearing, of course, the amazing American Eagle jumpsuit. And he looked amazing. He lost a bunch of weight for this show. And he looked incredible. And I remember the first time I saw it, of course, I was only 3 years old, not quite 3 years old yet when this concert first aired. I was just a little over 2, and my birthday's in March, so I've been turned 3 in March of that year. But I saw it when they re-showed it a couple of years later. They showed it again on TV, and that's when I got to see it. And I remember, because I was young, but I remember back then, because, he put the cape on at the end of the show, and this was my very first time seeing Elvis, do any kind of performing. Put the cape on at the end of the show, so I thought this guy was a superhero of some sort. So, Abby, I know you don't remember exactly the very first time that you saw this concert, but we watch it. We're going to be watching it here in a little while. We watch it every single year. And so we'll be watching it here in a little while. So what is special to you about this concert? What stands out about Elvis to you in the Aloha from Hawaii concert?
You can definitely tell that he put his absolute all into this show. I don't know. There's something so much more powerful about this show than any of his others. The band put their all into it, obviously, because he knew it was different. And it's just historic, and nothing's ever beat it. It's still the most viewed satellite performance.
Yeah, it still is. It stands up till today. No artist has beat it yet. 1.5 billion people, and I don't think any artist ever will. Like today, when you see it, does it seem to you when you watch it like this concert was in 1973? Does it
No.
Does it age well when you watch it now?
Yeah, it doesn't seem old to me. It seems like something that would happen today.
It does. It seems really fresh. Now, one thing, I don't know if you want to call it criticism, but one thing a lot of people say, even a lot of Elvis fans say this, that it was a very safe show. He didn't move around a whole lot. He didn't take a whole lot of chances in this show. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that he didn't move because of the suit. He didn't want to mess up the suit, and he's had a past of messing up suits. So I don't think he wanted to mess this one up. And I don't know. I don't know why anybody would criticize it. I don't.
Well, a lot of people say that he, here's my opinion, because there's a lot of people that say, that this definitely wasn't his best show, that there was better shows at like Madison Square Garden, and I might agree with that. 1972 is my favorite year. As far as overall just entertainment and, sex appeal and all of that kind of stuff, this might not be his best show as far as that goes, because I think when Elvis did this show, I really believe that he wanted to be seen not as the sex symbol,
Mhm.
but as an artist.
Right.
Because,
I think he wanted people to see or hear his voice more than they saw his moves.
yeah, I 100% agree. I think that Elvis went into this knowing that the whole world was going to see it and that he wanted to be Elvis Presley, the artist, taken seriously.
Right.
Um, and that's why he picked the song list that he did. That's why the show kind of ebbed and flowed as it did, because he just wanted to be seen as the artist that he deserved to be seen as. Um, Now, is there one particular part of the show that sticks out to you that's your favorite? A song that might be your favorite part of the show?
Well, my favorite part is Fever, and I think that's for obvious reasons. But I think the best part of the show was probably What Now My Love or I'm So Lonesome I Could Cry because of the emotion that he put into both of those songs, but especially I'm So Lonesome. I mean, a tear runs down his cheek.
Yes, yeah,
One of the
obviously.
most iconic photos of Elvis ever.
Yeah, it was taken during the show. A matter of fact, some of multiple of the most iconic photos ever taken were taken in the Aloha from
Mhm.
Hawaii show. And we might as well talk about it. On the 12th, he did a rehearsal show. Now, let's talk about that a little bit, because he did a rehearsal show on the January the 12th. And he did that just because they had never done this satellite technology before.
It was just in case
Just
something
in
went
case.
wrong.
Just in case it went down, they would have immediately thrown the already taped rehearsal show
Right.
on to cover for it. Now there's some people, I just had this discussion with our friend Taylor Brown the other night. Shout out to Taylor.
Hey, Taylor.
There's some people that believe that the rehearsal show was actually better than the regular show
Really?
because he was looser and that he was more relaxed. He wasn't as nervous and as
Yeah, I
uptight.
guess.
He moved more.
I still think that the or oh my gosh, the main show was the best. But I guess I can see their point.
Yeah, he was a little more physical.
Yeah.
He interacted with the crowd more in the rehearsal show. He joked more
Mhm.
during the rehearsal show, so it seemed more like a regular Elvis concert. He didn't seem as nervous. He actually
Because
forgot.
he knew it wasn't live.
Right, it wasn't going out by satellite. He even messed up the words to several songs. He messed up the
Mhm.
words to "Burning Love" and "Suspicious
Which he
Minds," and
which he did almost every single time he sang that song.
yeah. So, but the next night it seemed polished, and it was. It was definitely more polished. He had his hair redone because he didn't like the way his hair looked in the first show, so he had his hair um, redone. And also, and not a lot of people know about this, diehards do. If you look very carefully, you can see placards or big pieces of white cardboard with the words "The Burning Love" and several other songs that they were holding out in front of Elvis, so
Yeah.
that when he was out in front
There's
of
a lot
one,
of pictures of it that you
yes,
can find.
so when he's out in front of 1.5 billion people, he's not going to forget the words to "Burning Love" and all of that kind of stuff. And you could also see when he first came on stage during Aloha from Hawaii, he was very, very nervous.
Mhm.
He was very, very uptight when he first came on. You could see he was a little stiff. Um, Even when he says, before he introduces the song, something, you can hear the nervousness um, in his voice. So Elvis, that shows you how much he cared, about this show. It meant a lot to him. And also, we always talk about the butts and all. As great as this show was, and it was great, and we're going to talk more about how great it was. But I've always believed that this was Colonel Tom Parker's way of kind of getting Elvis to stop talking about going around the world. We don't need to tour the
Yeah,
world. I'm going to bring the world to
to
you.
you.
And I think this was a way of trying to satisfy Elvis and trying to get Elvis to stop talking about touring the world because Colonel Parker had no ambitions for Elvis to tour the world for obvious reasons. So
Mhm.
this was a way of kind of trying to satisfy Elvis's appetite for that. So I'll just send the world to you, and that's why this attracted such a large audience because so much of the world never got to see Elvis in concert live because he never toured outside of the United States except in 1957 when he went to Canada for a
Right.
couple of weeks and did some shows up there in Canada. So that's why this show really mattered to the world and why so many people tuned in because they never got to see Elvis. I mean, some fans did travel to Las Vegas from the UK and different parts of the world to see Elvis, but overall, his fans from foreign countries never got to see him live. So that's why Aloha from Hawaii was so important. Um, so we were talking about the rehearsal show earlier, and there's a couple songs that do stand out to me as being better versions in the rehearsal show. And one of them was What Now My Love. I think What Now My Love, he absolutely just destroyed that song in a good way in the rehearsal show. And just really again, I think it's because he was more loose and stuff like that. He felt better, he felt more relaxed, and so some of the notes but at the same time, he he flubbed words and stuff like that because he might have been too relaxed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how do you think as far as Elvis's looks that night? You know, he had to if you look at pictures from earlier or later in 1972, he was a little heavier and had a little bit of weight on him, you know,
Yeah.
before the Aloha show. But when he steps out on that screen, I don't know about you, but every time I watch Aloha and he steps out on that screen,
All I can do is just stare
yeah,
because he's so cool and he's so good looking and he's tan and he obviously lost a lot of weight, which made him sick, so he probably didn't feel the best, but he looked good and he sounded good. Um, yeah, it just amazes me.
I just read an article about that today that because of the diet that he was on, he lost weight so quickly and he was lacking a lot of substance that he needed for his body to be strong.
Yeah, because he was barely eating.
And
He was
yeah,
literally starving himself,
yeah, and so
which sucks. I hate that he did that.
and that might explain also why he wasn't quite as physical
Mhm.
in the
He was
Aloha.
probably weak.
Yeah, he definitely was not his strongest. I didn't know that until today. When I read this article, you know, about this terrible diet that they put him on that did not have the amount of nutrients that he needed.
Oh, they made him do it?
Yes, because
I
he
thought
needed
that was his choice because he liked to lose weight for stuff like that.
well, he definitely wanted to lose weight, but this was the diet that his doctors put him on, and, it was not a very, very good diet at all, so the night of that show, he really didn't feel that well physically and
And you can definitely tell after the show
yes,
when they had him sing all of those songs.
yes.
He was so done and he was so tired and he just wanted to go and sleep and go home or something.
Yeah, let's talk about that. A lot, and you all can find this. I mean, if you've watched the American version of Aloha from Hawaii that aired in April of 1973, you saw that he sang extra songs that the fans in January didn't get to see because they were recorded after the show was over with. So America got some bonus songs for waiting. Let's see, it was No More, Blue Hawaii,
Kuuipo.
Kuuipo, and Early Morning Rain. I think
Yeah.
were the four songs. And you can find these clips on the box set that came out a few years back, and you can find them on YouTube, of
Language
course.
warning if you don't like cursing and stuff. He does a lot of that.
Yes, he curses
He
a lot.
was so over it.
Yeah,
Just want it to be done.
yeah, these
Poor
songs
man.
were recorded. It's 2 o'clock in the morning, just about. They had to wait for the arena to empty out and everybody to leave, and they had to get the band back on the stage. And Elvis come back out with the jumpsuit still on, his hair's kind of down, and you can see right away that he is not in a very good mood when he's
At all.
recording these songs. He's exhausted. He doesn't feel good, and of
He's
course, this
messing up the songs.
yes, he had to do multiple takes of these songs. This was Colonel Parker's idea to squeeze a few more songs into the show for the American broadcast, and Elvis was just not feeling it.
He looks a lot different than he did when he left that stage. He just looks sick and he looks tired.
He really does, and
It sucks. It's sad to watch, but it's also funny because he's messing up and
yeah,
making fun of people.
yeah, he cusses a couple times when he messes up, and he even gets mad at the band once
Yeah.
when the band when the band messed up. You could see that he was just not in a good mood. So if you haven't seen those, you can go on YouTube and look up Blue Aloha from Hawaii bonus material, and you'll see these uncut clips. When you see it on the actual broadcast from April of 1973, it looks all polished, and they put Hawaiian scenes around him and stuff like that to try to draw your eye off of how he actually looked. Because when he was singing these songs, he showed no emotion whatsoever.
No.
His face was kind of blank.
He kept like zoning out too.
Yeah, you could really tell that he was just not feeling it. And so yeah, go if you haven't seen that yet, do yourself a favor and go and check that out because it's really really cool. Um, I know my favorite part of the show that I can talk about. Like I said, I saw this when I was for the first time when I was maybe 5 when they re-showed the broadcast of Aloha from Hawaii. But the time that I really remember seeing it and really remember digging into it was in the mid to early 80s when Aloha from Hawaii first came out on VHS videotape. And I went to Blockbuster Video, which is not around anymore. Abby has no idea what Blockbuster Video is.
Yes,
Probably
I do.
you do, I guess, from watching Stranger Things or
Yeah,
something. Yeah, there you go.
I think.
She knows about the '80s from watching Stranger Things, so that makes sense. But we went down to Blockbuster Video and we rented this sucker, man, and I could not wait to get home. And my dad was excited because this was my dad's favorite show. And his favorite song, Aloha from Hawaii, American Trilogy, was in the show. My dad was ready to fast forward to American Trilogy. He wanted to see that so bad, but we watched the whole show, and I guess because of my dad, that's that's the performance that stands out to me in Aloha from Hawaii is the American Trilogy. This was such a patriotic night. This is Elvis representing the United States of America to the world. And he
Mhm.
wanted to look his best. He wanted to, he had Bill Ballou and the team design the perfect, American Eagle patriotic jumpsuit.
Wasn't that one of the heaviest jumpsuits?
Yes, it was. It was one of the heaviest jumpsuits. And the original cape,
Do we know how much it weighed?
right offhand, I'm not sure.
I'll look it up while
I
you
have to
talk.
look that up. But the original cape was supposed to go from his shoulders to the floor. And when Elvis tried it, it was way too cumbersome, and
I saw a picture of the original one.
yeah, and he just could not do it. So they changed it to a the regular waist length capes that he wore from early 71 through 74 or so, the regular waist length capes. But American Trilogy, when he did that song, this was probably the most passionate delivery that he ever gave of this song. Um, of course, the sweat dripping down his face, and when he's looking back at the crowd, at the band, you can see the pride in his face, man.
Yeah.
He is so proud of those guys, and he's so proud to be singing along with them. And just a pure emotion. And of course, my favorite part, and I know a lot of you fans out there probably caught this too, it's just one of the coolest parts, but it's kind of, I don't know, it's just something about it. When a little bead of sweat drips off of his nose and he takes his bottom lip and he blows that little piece of sweat that dripped off the bottom of his nose and American Trilogy. There's something just so cool about that scene. Me and my brother Wally talk about that all the time, that only Elvis could look that cool blowing a piece of sweat off of his nose.
The American Eagle jumpsuit was 75 pounds or more,
I was going to guess 75 pounds.
which
So,
is probably another reason why he didn't move a lot.
yes, it was a very heavy, cumbersome jumpsuit, but beautiful. And of course, has to be the most iconic jumpsuit that he ever wore.
Oh, yeah.
Whenever
Like, right next to the sundial.
yeah, when general public thinks of Elvis and a jumpsuit, they're definitely thinking Aloha from Hawaii, because that's something that everybody's seen, really, whether you're a diehard um, Elvis fan or not. That suit was so iconic. So yeah, my favorite part of the show, hands down, American Trilogy, because he was just so passionate and the delivery was just so proud, and it was just magnificent. It's just a spectacle to watch.
Yeah.
I'll never forget watching it with my dad. My dad, I talked about in the last podcast, not an emotional man. But whenever he heard Elvis sing American Trilogy, he got emotional. Whenever he heard, and we had to shut up. Whenever it came on, he would make us all shut up because Elvis was singing American Trilogy. So, but we watched, of course, we ended up buying the VHS tape when it became available, and we watched it all the time. But I'll never forget that first time bringing it home from Blockbuster Video and watching it with my dad.
It's one of those shows that you don't want to end.
Yeah,
I hate how short it is because it's what, just under an hour?
about an hour.
I want it to be longer.
Yeah.
I don't want it to end when I put it on.
And Elvis was very mindful of that. That's something else that people don't realize, is that they were in a time frame.
Oh, yeah, you can tell how rushed he was. He was going song to song to song to song.
Yeah, he didn't do a whole lot of messing around with the audience, not a whole lot of talking, because the satellite signal was going to cut off at some point
Yeah.
after that hour. So that's another fact that a lot of people don't realize, is that.
Another fact. Oh,
No, go ahead.
Another fact a lot of people don't know is we were talking about this the other day. This is the show that made him want a catwalk at the
Yes.
International
Yes.
Hotel in Vegas.
Yes, if you watch Aloha from Hawaii, you can see the catwalk that goes out into the audience, and Elvis loved that so much that he had them build one at the International for him, so he could walk out into the audience there and be closer to the audience at the International Hotel. That's another great point there, Abby. So here's a neat question. We always talk about Elvis and what he thought about himself, and whether he realized he was big as he was and famous as he was and stuff like that. Do you think Elvis had any inkling that this show would be still talked about 53 years later?
Absolutely not. At all.
Why do you think that?
Because he didn't even think, I mean, at the end of his life, he didn't even think he would be remembered a year after he was gone. And here we are, almost 49 years after his death, and he's as famous as ever.
Indeed,
But
that would shock.
he would not believe it.
Yeah, I think you would be shocked at the fact that we celebrate this. This is another holiday for Elvis fans. I mean, you got his birthday on January 8th, and then January 14th every year. We celebrate this every year, as this
Same
should
way
be.
we celebrate like the 68 comeback,
Right.
stuff like that. All his iconic moments we celebrate as fans.
Yeah, I think we should celebrate it. Matter of fact, I think they should show the Aloha from Hawaii show every single year on television on the night that it was aired.
Yep.
They should recognize, because this is iconic. I mean, this is still, as we've already said, still the most watched single performer television event of all time. And it should be remembered that way. It should be watched every single year.
Right.
But we will be watching it here in a little while. And it's just one of those, we kind of ashamed of ourselves because we missed the anniversary of the rehearsal show.
I forgot about it.
Because we generally do watch that every year. We watch the rehearsal show on the 12th, and then we watch Aloha from Hawaii on the 14th. And we will be
I
watching
was
it.
also gone most of that day, so.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So this show, just incredible. And we hope that you all enjoy. Hey, you all watch it too. Make sure you watch the Aloha from Hawaii show.
Do you
Um,
wanna say anything about the new Epic trailer that came out?
oh yeah, let's discuss that. Yeah, 'cause we got a few minutes left here. Now that we're done talking about Aloha from Hawaii.
Pretty short episode, might as well make it a little longer.
Yeah, so yeah, we they broke a brand new trailer for Epic this week, Elvis Presley in concert that debuts in February, and we are super excited. Abby, what did you think about that trailer?
It's super cool, and we got to hear more audio of him talking, and, uh, there is 72 footage
Yes, finally.
possibly going to be in the movie. They showed a few clips. I'm really excited to see the sit-down stuff. I don't know what it is about it. I love all the sit-down stuff from the '70s, or from '70.
When he's sitting on the stool singing
Yeah,
Little Sister and stuff like that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's just really cool, and like I said, I'm really excited for the, behind the scenes stuff.
And I know you're excited about Oh Happy Day, right?
Oh my god,
That's on the
yes. I'm so excited for the album so that we get a, because all we have on Spotify is the, um, really it's horrible sounding.
yeah. Yeah, the old version of Oh Happy Day, the bootleg
Yeah, like, you
kind of
can hear his voice, and then the band and the,
backup
suites are,
singers.
like, really quiet. It's really weird to listen to, so I'm, really excited to have a
But
studio-like version.
what stood out to you in the new trailer? Was there anything that really that really got your attention?
I think just the quality, and I don't know. I don't know. There's so much.
Now, what about the new song that dropped? We didn't talk about that last
Oh,
week.
yeah.
And what was
Wearing that nightlife look.
wearing that nightlife look? What do you think about that? This is a combination
It's
of
pretty cool.
it's a
It's
combination of
wearing that loved on look and nightlife, and a whole bunch of songs are
yeah.
actually mixed into it. There's a few gospel songs kind of mixed into the background. Somebody made a video about it on TikTok. I'll have to show you because there's actually a lot of songs that you don't notice is in it.
Okay.
I don't know how they come up with these remixes.
Baz Luhrmann's people. I
Like
mean,
like in 2022, Crawl Fever,
yeah.
that was a strange one. Like, it's really good, but I don't know how they come up with these remixes and what songs to mix together.
Yeah, these his people, whoever
But I like how they put the gospel, like, quartet in the beginning of the song.
absolutely. Absolutely. So what are you looking forward to most with Epic?
I think we talked about this the last podcast. I'm looking most forward to, like, I know that we're getting, footage of him in the suite with the guys,
Yeah.
and I've heard from, people who saw Epic that we get a lot more Charlie Hodge and Sonny West, footage, which I'm a very big Charlie Hodge fan.
I know
My
you are.
favorite Memphis Mafia member, right next to, like, Sonny and Jerry and stuff, so I'm really excited to see more footage of them, and then obviously, like, rehearsals and
Now do
backstage, stuff like that.
now do you think that this and matter of fact, Aloha, I'm gonna have a question kind of semi-related, the same thing with Aloha. But do you think that we're gonna see more younger people coming to Elvis seeing
100%.
Epic this time, like the movie?
100%. I think social media is gonna be a big part of that because, I think this is gonna reboot, like, all of the Elvis edits, and I'm definitely gonna get back into editing and keeping my Elvis account more alive, so I'm hoping that'll reach more people, and I'm
Tell
hoping that.
tell people where they can find that at.
Oh, my TikTok is Presley Butler VSP on TikTok. I make, like, Elvis edits, and I'll post, like, my Elvis collection and stuff like that, and then my Instagram is Abby Loves Elvis Presley, so you can find me there. Um, but yeah, I think if people will take their kids and their grandchildren to go see it, and then obviously social media is gonna have a big part in that, and I think that we'll definitely see a lot of younger people become Elvis fans, and
Well, We're getting ready to wrap up this episode, but one more question about Aloha from Hawaii and the younger generation. So there's a lot of, you know, youngsters out there that have probably never saw Aloha from Hawaii. So what would you say to the novice teenager out there that's never got into Elvis, never seen Aloha from Hawaii? What would you tell them about Aloha?
You won't regret it. Watch it. He's so fine. He looks so good. He sounds amazing. I think it'll blow your mind. Watch the rehearsals too. Watch everything. Watch the rehearsals, watch the bonus stuff, watch the regular show. I I have been saying this. They talk so much about the 68 comeback, and there's documentaries and books about the 68 comeback.
Yeah.
What about Aloha? Do we even have Aloha documentary?
No, we do not.
Why are they not? There's so much to talk about.
There was a short film on YouTube. I think it's about 15 minutes long where they talked to Marty Pasetta, the director, and he told some stories and stuff, but it was very short.
I'll have
So
to watch it. I haven't seen that.
it definitely deserves a look into a documentary of its own. That the making, while these guys are still alive, the making of Aloha from Hawaii.
I just don't understand. I mean, they've obviously Steve Binder put out a book about 2 or 3 years ago, and then they made what 2 or 3 documentaries about the 68
Yes.
comeback. I don't know why. I'm sorry, I love the 68 comeback. We have enough.
Yeah, we've been 68 comeback to death if that's possible. I mean,
All we hear about is the 68 comeback, and I think that Aloha is way more historic than that.
and if you think about it, in the Elvis movie with Austin Butler, the major focus of that movie became the 68 comeback.
The Aloha part was like
It skipped through it just in a milli. If you blinked, you missed it.
literally. They showed like edited pictures of Austin in these tiny little circles, and Colonel was like, he didn't want to tour the world anymore. I brought the world to him. And then they show like 2 or 3 really fast edited clips of Elvis, and then that's it.
Yeah, it's very, very odd that this is overlooked. It really is. We need a documentary. We need a celebration. Maybe we'll get something for the 55th or anniversary or something like that in a
I just
couple of
don't
years.
understand why they don't like. Hello,
Mar-
one of the
Marty,
most historic concerts in history.
absolutely. Marty Bissett, if you're out there, please make us a documentary. Hey, Baz. Hey, Baz,
Hey, Baz.
do a documentary on Aloha from Hawaii. We need a re-release. We need a high,
Please.
super high def re-release of Aloha from Hawaii. Well, we're going to wrap this up because we're going to go watch Aloha from Hawaii here in just a little bit. We hope that you've enjoyed this second episode of the EP Fan Zone, and we're hoping the next episode to start doing interviews. So thank you all for listening. Remember, this is the EP Fan Zone by, for, and about Elvis fans. Abby, you want to say anything else before we go?
I don't think so.
All right. Well, on behalf of myself, on behalf of Abby, we'll see you on the next episode of EP Fan Zone, the podcast by, for, and about Elvis fans. Y'all have a great day.
Bye.